Hello guys, and welcome back to Supreme Ruler 2030 with our Israel playthrough. In the last episode, we're in this state now where we've taken over some countries in the Middle East. Still haven't taken over Jordan because we're recovering our GDP, because every time you warmonger in this game, your inflation goes way the fuck down. Trying to recover that to keep our country richer and sustainable financially due to the balancing of the game. We've repaired all of our relations with NATO, which only took a hit when we attacked Lebanon, not Syria, funny enough. Probably because Syria has done some fighting. I don't really know. The whole world loves each other, unfortunately. And I don't know why. War in Ukraine ended at the end of that last episode. Funny thing is, Turkey was now on the way to start taking part in this fucking war as well. And the Russians were getting pushed back, so if it actually kept going, Ukraine would have started just reclaiming shit left and right. But they made peace, so it's over. And they're broke. So, Russia did not come out broke, because they're doing fine financially. But the debt Ukraine is in, I don't really know what good they'll be for anyone. You got 5 allies now? 1, 2, 3, 4. That says 4. What the hell are your other allies, sir? Oh, Russian Crimea, right. It's counting colonies. By default, every time I start the game up, it counts colonies. I forget that. Financially, we're doing fine, but we still need to boost our economy more. And, you know, we have taxes right now that are pretty lowered. I think I can safely go ahead and have that sales tax, because again, it doesn't actually have the income. Everything else comes pretty close, though. We definitely don't want to have corporate or anything, or especially high income anytime soon. So those are going to stay up. But sales tax, because that will drive more sales as well. Honestly, we might do small businesses just while I'm at it, because that's better for certain individuals. And, you know, it's going to just change. People are just going to buy more stuff. And then I'm going to need more of certain things. Like, look at demand's going up. But to also help drive growth here, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start building the oil derricks, because I built a ton of these offshore platforms. They're costing me probably a fair amount of money just all the time. Oceanic complex annual maintenance of like 2 bill. That's fucking crazy. So if I build oil derricks, then we will actually get some use out of them. May not be as efficient as, you know, the normal oil, but we'll get to we'll do a couple things all at once. So I'm going to put all these down at once, and that's just so I can utilize everything that I've claimed. Ooh, looks like I might have missed something up here. Yeah, I'll need to send another one up there at some point. But I know we have some over... Oh, I missed something over here. How did I miss so many? I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and build everywhere that I did place a location. What the fuck is this? There's a Spanish motorized engineer defending my oceanic platform. Okay, fair enough. You know, actually, you know, I should, oh, wait, it does have garrisons. What? Oh, that one doesn't. This one doesn't. Oh, okay, well, not all these do, but I can get garrisons on these. I probably should. So I've placed all those now. 22 of them. And that, if that's expensive, I'll just raise another tax for a moment, you know, until I get these built. Because what I'm going to do in addition is I'm going to build naval turbines to fill in all the extra slots on all these. Which is literally all the extra slots. Everything that's not used is going to be naval turbines. These places are not the most efficient locations so far for having oil, but I could still fill them in their perfect locations. So just add naval turbines, which can grant me a lot more electricity without having to really spend anything, because the locations are already there. This is going to be a lot to build all at once, but don't worry. With how our finances have been doing, I am ever so confident that we can afford this. Okay, so that was in fact a mistake. I should not have built that much at once, so I've scaled things back dramatically to just 6 oil derricks, just right here, a little trio. I got those other oceanic complexes placed down, so now we definitely have claimed every free spot in the Mediterranean that, you know, there starts with, because the AI doesn't know how to claim any. We're now importing so many goods and using so much money on construction. So that's going to go a lot slower than I expected. I also like to point out, I am exporting so much oil that the exports alone almost pay for everything that I import. I mean, right now it kind of does pay for everything that I import. So that's crazy for a quote-unquote high GDP country. Norway and New Zealand made an alliance. That's good. My allies are getting together. and just AI in general are getting together, I suppose. I'm gonna sprinkle, like one by one, naval turbines down across this stuff. Our inflation has risen to 2.3% already, which is good. Inflation is like a yearly projection of your GDP growth, but it is also a reflection of your current GDP. And I'd like to maintain that over 50K for right now. And I guess just, you know, hold off my upcoming invasions until it's ready. Because we kind of need to build up now that we've expanded so much. Like, I didn't think we need to do so much in so little time, but we kind of do need to. Oh, let me tell you, it's a good thing that I'm looking to expand my electricity production right now. It's a really good thing because I just saw my electricity kind of like go out. Like, we didn't have enough. We're importing now, and as a result of my expansion, I guess, the price is starting to go up. What's the actual trade stats, though, for like top importers, exporters, electricity? Yeah, we're among the top importers of electricity now. Just because I built a couple factories. This is what it's like to play a really tiny country. I haven't played a really tiny country in forever. But we're holding with imports, and our money is only going up. So that's fine. We just need to slowly roll into placing these naval turbines and expanding in the Mediterranean to make the most of all of these platforms that we have here. There's other things we could build. This is just kind of making the most of an already expensive platform to lower the overall effective cost. Oh, this is so funny to see. There were actually American land units shipping over here. So if this war went on even longer, you'd have a bunch of Americans up on the front. That's so funny. Dude, if that didn't end when it did, I think they probably would have just kept flooding in until Russia was wiped out. No way they could have kept up with that. Hopefully, we see some more AI wars in some places. Now that the volatility is higher. Let's do, it's been a little bit since I've checked. Well, Russia is not apparently very happy with me, or maybe it's vice versa. I don't really know how this map works, to be honest. But everyone else pretty much still loves each other, so the chance of war breaking out instead of just a bunch of alliances is very not likely. So this is so funny. For right now, maybe due to stockpile, but for right now, I'm the second biggest exporter for oil. And am I on the top producers list? Oh my god, I'm the fourth biggest producer of oil in the world. Just like that. Just like that. Just by building up this land oil I got from Syria, what I had myself, and that's literally it. I wonder what it'll be like when I build all these up. But the effective price of my production will go up, unfortunately. But that's fine, because, again, we're squeezing power in with it as well. And we're not going on any more warmongering that will get us a bunch of oil. There's a little bit more in Jordan. When we get Jordan, that's a little bit more. And then I'm probably going to look at, like, Africa or something to get rubber, so I can swap from all this rubber synth stuff, which we're not even apparently making enough of. Where the hell is this? Rubber. Yeah, nope. Oh, it's all the new consumer goods. Yeah, with the new consumer goods, we're not even making enough rubber with the synths, so we're going to probably be importing for a little bit. So I'd probably just go get from like Liberia or something. That's why I have some line of sight over here. A bunch of natural rubber to minimize costs, allow exports, and just cover this self-sufficiently. Little update, we've gotten our new sub design here, the S210 Manta. It is cheaper, incredibly. A little more military goods to build, but overall cheaper. It goes farther, its missile capacity is bigger, it's better against enemy ships, its defense is better. That just seems like a huge upgrade right there. It requires more personnel, but generally better. So we're going to exclude the Dolphin 2. But we're going to keep any Dolphins that we have. And also, for some reason this didn't go through, I guess, but I wanted the normal dolphins, which, like, where are they? They're right there. I want them to upgrade. I could have sworn I told them to do this already. They're just not doing it. I know you motherfuckers can upgrade, and then you just stop and you don't do anything. What the fuck is the point of that? Okay. Reserve. And then I'll upgrade you once you're put away. Maybe this is just AI breaking in the Mediterranean. I don't know. Just these 3 hexes full of some oil derricks and naval turbines are honestly enough to have boosted our inflation from 1.5 to currently 4.4% and climbing, which is a good thing. Additionally, I'm doing pretty good on money still, surprisingly. And every time I do, I just go over to America purchase some tech, but I think I'm starting to run out of tech that isn't non-tradable, so I'm throwing just like all the non-tradables on the list at the moment, quite frankly, because we just want to work through those. And look, here's more. Man on the moon we reached. That's completely optional, but also kind of funny. Here's another thing. We're getting stuck behind non-tradables. I'll just throw that on there too, because why not? And our upgrades of the dolphins have finished. And there's 2 more techs here. A lot of this stuff is helping our economy, helping our ratings, and helping our research, actually. There's a lot of research boosters in what we've gotten from America recently. So that's pretty nice. And I don't really need updates for units being upgraded, I think. Especially because I'm the one that manually told it to do that. So, additionally, I've been finding a bunch of units, still more of them, that came from Syria, more than likely, and I've just been getting rid of them. Haven't done that with a lot of the ships yet, because some of these, like a lot of these patrol boats, I definitely got from them. Because a lot of these things, they don't even have ASW, and I would not keep things if they don't have ASW. And I'll probably just start selling those as well. A lot of those are still just like put away. So that would be stuff like maybe some of these transports, but the transports can stay. But a lot of these right here, these patrol boats, they don't have any ASW at all. And I don't like that, and I don't want that. So we're just going to get rid of these because bad. The escorts can pretty much just service there. Got some Tel Avivs and the ILATs, and I believe the ILATs are what we're making. No, we're making independences, and we don't actually have any independences yet. My AI is choosing to start with building mantas and also some civilian cargos. Our actual oil derricks on the platforms have finished up. The turbines themselves have a very long time to go without the assistance of engineers. We're spending about 300 million a day on building. Inflation is settling sort of around 4.6%. It's not moving very quickly anyway, if it's still moving up at all. Well, I am now fully caught up on everything America can give me for tech. I don't really know if anybody else has anything. It doesn't seem like it. I am entirely held by, or back by, my non-tradables, and I assume they still won't take research sharing or research cooperation. It's probably still in the hundreds of billions in order to get it. So we're gonna have to play this very, very SRU. My wealth of my population, plus my population, is just, you know, going up so much. Agriculture is starting to catch up to being like we don't necessarily have enough to be self-sufficient. Not that we need that, but it seems like a fair enough time to go ahead and expand these couple things, such as timber and agriculture, and then specifically build some more agriculture on the spots where we are building more timber, so like save on costs, at least assuming they can fit it, because there's not a lot of other natural resources or anything up here. It's basically all just going to be timber and agriculture. So just find a couple places that can have a mixture. Otherwise, like there's some places like this where there's already stuff down but not maxed out. Like, I don't even know if that's all that can fit here. I have to, like, get rid of one of these to even find out. But just making it so I don't have to build any extra structure. Like, look at this. Some of these can build a full hex of timber, and I will always prioritize timber over agriculture. Again, don't really need these. I can profit off of timber. I cannot profit off of agriculture. I just want an excuse to get more placed down. Also, I believe everything else in the Mediterranean that's on an oceanic complex, I believe I've already tested this, they can all only take 2 oil derricks, but something I'll do, because I don't really care about the oil derricks right now, and they're just so expensive. I'm going to go around, and I'm just going to plop 2 naval turbines just around on a bunch of these, just to get, like, that much building, because the power, as you can see, is mainly what I need. And my inflation's up high enough, I think I am ready for another war, but I do want to get the electricity under control before then, so I'm just going to take a couple days here where I just place these down. The initial costs are very high, which is why I really just shouldn't do them all at once. So get those initial costs through and then place another 2 down, get to a new day, another 2. We have enough money for right now to be doing this, and just spread these out across all these other hexes I have. Let them build through. The further you get into the building, usually the cheaper the costs get as well. We don't have any more tech to buy, so right now costs are a little bit higher, as you can see, but then they're under control again. So that's why we're just gonna stagger it. I'll do that everywhere. Get 2 placed down on everywhere where we don't have the actual oil. So that will get my electricity production up. Maybe a decent amount. I mean, 1 petrol plant is a little more than half of what one of these places builds. We have currently 33 petrol and 4 hydro. So right now we're building 22 naval turbines. That should actually be extremely consequential in a good way to our electricity production. Okay, so Fiji and Libya made an alliance. Are you offering to sell me coal for cheaper? I mean, I guess that's cool. I don't make any coal, and coal's market price is above my production price, so yeah, I guess that's really cool. Wasn't expecting that. And yeah, so that was a weird alliance. Also, I've been going around slowly adding more oil derricks and then adding more naval turbines to where I add more oil derricks, maxing them out way more slowly than I initially showed, in a way that my budget is keeping up with, even with our reduction to taxes and etc. and all of our other spending, including still, by the way, this whole time opposing Jordan and funding insurgency, which is like a third of a bill every year. I mean, look, they're just ready to fall apart. And our GDP is actually, honestly, skyrocketing. We're at 6.8% now, and that's good because our GDP is getting higher and higher and higher, which means we'll be better at self-sustaining the whole time. And what's our rank? I'm sure we have a rank. I don't remember where I saw this last. Here we go. Rank 16. Has that gone up or down? I think that's pretty similar to where it was before now. Okay, does someone want to explain to me how there's agriculture in the ocean? Is this what hydroponics is? I don't think so. That looks pretty indoors to me. Why is there agriculture on the motherfucking ocean? I don't think I've really noticed this. What is this? How do you access agriculture? Are there fisheries that I have to unlock that are somehow super duper advanced? See my income and budget getting way closer because I've been placing more. Got all the oil placed up here. Now also UK and New Zealand have made an alliance. That's pretty cool. The whole time I'm just buying and importing as many indie goods as I need to. Incredibly, you know, I pretty much single-handedly am keeping the world market price above my production costs. When I was making enough indie goods, the world market price was actually under my production costs, which is funny. But I'm almost to the point where I've placed every one of these wind farms and these oil things in the Mediterranean, but I'm like right there where my budget is like, don't know if we should go any further with it. So my inflation's getting even higher and higher and higher, and this is so fucking funny, man. We're almost at 9%, and as my inflation goes up, my income is going up. And my budget is really, like, my spending's not following as much as you would think that it would. So I'm slowly, like, getting the ability to build more and more stuff, which is so funny. Well, I've definitely pushed it to its limit. Every oil is placed in the Mediterranean, though, but these 3 here and then all this stuff here still needs its turbines. Definitely pushed to its limit, though. We're spending 2 bill a day on construction. That is more than a quarter of our total expenses per day are going to just the construction. And my money's pretty stationary right now, and I'm just constantly accepting diplomacy offers for goods on the right side there. So we're just going to sit and wait this out on fastest speed while I do that until these naval turbines start finishing. Our inflation's over 10% now. 10.8% now. Unemployment at 3.2. GDP with that inflation is set at 75,000. And so that's really, really good. And it'll be good because, you know, it's going to take a big hit once we invade Jordan. Every war is going to make it take a big hit. So long as we can afford it, it's good, though. The higher up it puts us, the better off. What's our percentage now? GDP ranking 12. We want to stay as high as possible on that ranking. There's some little nations that we just won't be able to outdo, but the higher we stay on that ranking, the better in terms of this game's balancing. There's now exactly 1 week for our first ever naval turbine to finish, and Botswana and Western Sahara have made an alliance. As you can see by these bars, agriculture's not keeping up, and I want to stay self-sufficient on that because population, they like it when you have a lot of agriculture. Pretty much everything from here down to here is like there's nothing here. Because look at this, the timber, it's the only other thing in this region. So like this whole area is basically just good for agriculture. So flat, flat, flat agriculture all over here to try to get that self-sufficient again as the demand fucking skyrockets. And then timber doesn't start until right here. So we can just keep going. Wait, where is right here? It's right there. Until right there. So just keep going with agriculture. And there we go. Oh, wait. Here you go. Here's another one. And there's also this right here. There's only one place there. We can just like fill that hex up completely. And we're going to more than double our agriculture production. And then what's this one? Is this a town? I think it's a town. These are towns, and that's why there's nothing on them. All right, cool. Yeah, we're going to more than double our agriculture production because I want to make sure that stays self-sufficient. Let's just do it in one big burst. Now that those turbines are finishing, agriculture also doesn't cost a lot to get there. Our first naval turbine has finished. Our next one's finishing in like 6 days. And a new alliance was formed between Western Sahara and Ecuador, because that makes fucking sense. And so as these finish, we should see our electricity start to go up. These are staggered out somewhat, a lot of them, and there's still more that I have to place down on the available locations. And I mean, there's even more naval engineers I have. It's just building this ocean stuff is really taxing, especially as such a small nation. But at the very least, naval turbines are very efficient. They're even more efficient than hydro for the power that they produce in the long term. And they don't need nearly as many industry goods, meaning they're a little fucking OP, which is really weird, because it's like naval turbines, right? And then other is like where you get normal turbines, and this is like way worse. You produce less than half the power for more money and the same amount of goods, and pretty much the same amount of like upfront long-term money, yeah. But naval turbines, you know, over twice the power, something like 60% of the annual maintenance, slightly more upfront cost actually. But still, this is so stupidly efficient. There's like no other energy that I've seen in this game that is more efficient. Maybe like nuclear fusion, but I doubt it. I think in terms of long-term price, the naval turbines that they've added are probably the most efficient piece of energy in the entire game. Our second one just got built. Or, you know, maybe the price is equalized with hydro once you factor in the cost of the oceanic complex itself. You know, let's say you just fill the hex with only these. The complex itself would probably equalize it with hydro. But still, that's really impressive of a thing to be able to accomplish. And now that you have naval engineers, like that adds more value. Honestly, that might be more valuable than the oil. Because I don't think anyone's really going to invest too much in like a PvP, for example, to building overseas all of these oceanic complexes and rely exclusively on them. But the temptation to rely on naval turbines due to their efficiency and how they'll make the hex you built your oil derricks on, or even if there is no room for oil derricks, I could just be building these things in my own coastline and just fill it up with garrisons, and now it's essentially a massive coastal defense platform that is making hydro-efficient levels of electricity for me, and that's pretty crazy. Okay, so a lot of the things are finishing now. We're at 10.3% inflation's actually started going down. Our budget's stabilizing like crazy. My money is getting more and more self-sufficient the higher my GDP goes, but I think we're ready to go ahead and just declare this war on Jordan by now. I think we're more than prepared enough. I'm not going to try too heavily in this war. I've just kind of gotten my units all to a certain spot, and apparently everybody in the world had mutual defense with them, so of course now I'm going to have to go around getting mutual defense again with a lot of my allies. I got it back with everybody except Latvia. It wasn't actually that many individuals. Some of these are just France multiple times. I'm going to have to pay to get it back with a lot of individuals though, but already we started fighting their air forces, mobilizing our land forces, already kind of overwhelming theirs. I put a lot of the troops over here because I figured it would be simpler than trying to push across from Jerusalem over here. And you know what? Actually, what it's done a great job of is aggroing their fucking units up here. Although everyone just mobilized and decided I'm going up here and fighting from there anyway and just completely ignoring the bridges. But that's cool, I guess. We're fine in that regard. We can speed this up. Lost 2 units. Well, let me guess. Those are all planes, yeah. It's like it's either going to be planes or it's going to be ships. I gotta accept all these. Everyone's making me pay to get shit back. I have to like support Latvia to get it back with them though, because they're being kind of picky. I'm sorry, is Iraq coming to fight me? Iraq's coming to fight me. Good thing I started up here. I cut them off from support. But that adds some some desire to get this over with as soon as possible. So let's bum rush that capital, because Iraq is coming to the aid. Full mobilization. Oh, Kuwait too. Kuwait's coming too to assist Jordan. So yeah, we wanted to get them to surrender as soon as possible. They've surrendered. I turned off the whole you fire back at people that are incurring, so I'm fine that they're here. We're just not going to worry about it. And we got a couple things we got to get rid of. So for one, they had some small power facilities, such as nuclear small. We're getting rid of that. In terms of power, is literally only nuclear small, but we can get rid of also some mill mids, which we had more of, I guess, than I thought we did. All the ind mids. Do we have any? There's no micros for military. Cons mids, get rid of those. And I don't know that there's anything else that I really need to be getting rid of here. We have a research center, a new one now. That's very good. I very much wanted that. Agriculture on a town. We'll get rid of that. We don't need that. Agriculture on a town. Yeah, no, we don't need agriculture on our towns. And do I have any agriculture on my original towns, actually? I don't think I do. I think if I did, I got rid of them all because I knew it was a dumb idea. So that's that. That's that. Is this a town? This is a town. It's got agriculture on it. Get rid of it. I'll keep any petrol power plants. That's fine. Here's their whole military. Oh, yeah, we got 2 more land production. So we're expanding our production of our land forces even more. What's this? Is in mid power petrol. And that's pretty much all I wanted to delete of theirs. We can now make uranium and start selling it. And we now have more room to make metal ore, which is fine. You know, we make enough of it, and it's not profitable to sell with our massive inflation, which is it still massive? No, it's going to go down now that we've done this. But that just means I can build more of those naval turbines. So interestingly, the Turks actually came to help me out. Now, they were way too late to do anything, but they were coming to help me out. The Iraqis were definitely against me, as were the Kuwaitis. The Albanians were coming to help me out. The Italians. NATO was actually mobilizing to help. Oh my god. Yeah, since most of them didn't break it with me. Hell, I think, you know, France did break it with me, but I got it back. And the moment I did, they're just like, let's just mobilize a bunch of stuff. So this is about to be a bunch of foreign units in my territory, even though the war is already over. It was a quick war. It wasn't difficult. But if we ever fight any difficult wars, it's good to know that NATO will mobilize to help us. Probably especially if we get attacked. Honestly, I'm tempted to just put everything away and keep everything away and then just let them populate and defend my shit real quick. That actually is probably pretty fucking smart. So let's just select everything we have, put it away, take off priorities. I'm also deleting some of the units that I don't want. Like, I got a couple units from them, not very many, but a couple, and I'm just going to be selling them. So that's good. Also need to set this as you are not allowed to do anything. There you go. And just let them start garrisoning my stuff, because they might stay there. And the next war I have in mind after this, now that we've kind of like solidified a nice little land block there, is to actually go invade Liberia. You know, for the aforementioned reasons. Our world market opinion is still delighted somehow. Trade integrity 68.8%, understandable. And our inflation's down to like 6.8%, probably still going down. So let's go ahead and just place down the rest of those turbines. There's still more I could place up here, but I don't want to be too quick about it. The deals I'm being offered are like way worse now, but that's fine. Look, we just make too much oil now. For right now, we just make too much oil. So expanding that probably doesn't make much sense at this point. But there are new oil gas fields to expand to. All these NATO troops are just flooding into my land now, and with all my units put away, I believe, with the exception of one escort that's being picky. Let's get you reserved there, sir. Sir, you know how to reserve. Stop fighting with me. You fucking asshole. There you go. Alright, let's just see. A lot of them might just stay in garrison. That is a thing that the AI does, especially because we have so many complexes here. And our agriculture has literally turned off half of it as well because we just have too much of it now. But that's good. It means we're self-sufficient. We've accomplished what I want to accomplish. Oil being like that is also a pretty good thing. I will eventually build up all this stuff. However, it seems we are out of time for this episode. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this mostly building episode, but we did get that final invasion in there. Now we're going to, you know, just continue to build up. Hopefully solve that pesky electricity problem. and then look at getting some rubber next before we go on to our bigger goals of conquering the Middle East, of course, thematically as Israel. For now, though, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.